Selling these digital products changed my life. And last month alone, I made $31,443 from them, all on autopilot. And I was once a burnt out photographer working 24/7, but now I get to work just a few hours a day on most days, take 2 weeks off whenever I want. In fact, just a couple months ago, we spent 2 weeks in the Midwest visiting family. And just last week, we got back from 2 weeks in Europe. We went to the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. And I've traveled to over 30 countries total now, all thanks to these digital products. And in this video, I'm going to break down the different digital products that changed my life and how you can get started selling your own digital products so you can start building your freedom-focused business too. So let's dive in. This video is sponsored by Kittl, but more on them later. All right, the first digital product that completely changed my life is workshops. Not only were they life-changing for me, but workshops are the digital product that I would 100% do first if I was starting my digital products business over completely from scratch. Why? Because they're the fastest to sell, the fastest to create, and they're a really popular type of digital product. Unlike digital products like courses and memberships, you don't need a big program with tons of modules, tons of lessons. A workshop is just that. Think of it like a one-time workshop in person, except for it's going to be online. You can use something like Google Meet or Zoom to execute this. And the best part of a workshop is you get to pre-sell your workshop. So all you have to do is come up with, who are you serving? What problem are you trying to solve for them? What are you teaching in your workshop? What is the one result that they're going to walk away with from your workshop? Then what you want to do is create a checkout page. This is where they're going to put in their name, their payment information, and actually sign up and pay for your workshop. And on that checkout page, you're simply going to put the name of the workshop, what the one result is they're going to get from the workshop, anything else that's included, like the workshop recording or the date and time of when it's going to be hosted live. If you decide to do it live, you can totally just sell the recording too if you'd like to. So what's cool is now you get to pre-sell the workshop and start getting in all those sales for the workshop, start making money up front so you can actually get paid to create and deliver the workshop. And what's great is if nobody buys, then you can just pivot, what you're teaching, what's on the checkout page, that kind of thing until it sells. But you're not wasting your time creating a digital product that nobody's going to buy. You're going to know up front that people want to buy it, and you're going to get paid in advance, which you deserve, to teach this workshop. Just like a regular workshop in person, right? You pay before you go to the workshop. The only difference is this workshop is online. So once you've created the checkout page and you've sold people into your workshop, all you have to do is create the workshop. Now you can keep this super simple, use Google Meet and Zoom, and you could just have a Word document that you screen share with bullet points of what you want to cover in the workshop. That's totally fine. You don't even need fancy slides or anything. In fact, you don't even need the Google Sheet. Okay, you could just like this, you could just have a talking head video for your workshop. It's totally up to you. Or maybe if you're teaching crocheting or something, you could use a webcam and just show them how to do it. Or you could go fancy, create slides and all of that stuff. You don't need slides to run a great workshop, but I do personally love to use slides in my webinars because good visuals can help people stay engaged and follow along. And now you don't even need to be a designer to make your slides look good. There are tools that do most of the heavy lifting for you. And one that I've been loving lately is Kittl. Kittl has this massive library of templates. So you can literally type in a prompt like modern slide layout for a workshop or product mockups, and it'll put out tons of options that you can customize in seconds. Then once you've picked a template, you can use their AI-powered Kittl Flows feature to create endless variations. It's perfect for exploring new design directions until you land on the one that you want. And if you've watched my other videos, you know I've gone down the AI rabbit hole. And what I love about Kittl's AI capabilities is that it can speed up my workflow without taking away creative control. I'll drop a link in the description below this video to check out Kittl so you can test it out completely for free. And if you decide you want to go all in and unlock every premium feature, we're talking all the AI tools, exclusive templates, fonts, assets, and vector editing, they're offering 25% off a full year of Kittl Pro or Expert for Black Friday when you use the code BF2025. But this is only for a limited time. And this deal is not just for new users. Current and returning users can use the same code to upgrade their plans. So go ahead, check it out in the link in the description below this video. But personally, if this is your first workshop ever, I I would highly, highly recommend going as simple as possible. Okay, so how much potentially could you make from selling your own workshop digital product? Well, let's say you're going to charge $100 for this workshop and you end up selling in 100 people into this workshop. And the great thing about an online workshop is you could sell in thousands of people if you wanted to, whereas in person, you're going to be limited by space, right? So let's say you charge $100 and you sell in 100 people. That's $10,000 from a workshop that you are going to do once. Okay. And I highly recommend doing it live, telling them it's going to be on this date and time, hosting the workshop, obviously recording it, and then you can sell the recording of that workshop again and again and again. And you don't have to do it live again if you don't want to. Now, I've already shared with you one digital product idea, which is workshops, and I have plenty more for you in this video. But if you want to use my custom made bot that'll ask you 5 questions to dial in which type of digital product you should sell and what it should be about, go ahead and download my digital product discovery bot completely for free. It is linked in the description below this video. Okay, the next digital product that completely changed my life is ebooks. Now, when I say an ebook, a lot of people tend to think of a whole novel or like a full 300-page book on a Kindle reader. No, that is not what we're talking about. When I say the word ebook, I am talking about a short, sweet, to the point educational PDF. So for example, one of the ebooks that I sold that sold the most copies was called Model Call. Now, what this ebook did was it taught other photographers simply how to book more clients. It was 13 pages long and it taught them step by step with screenshots exactly what to do. It was basically like an SOP or a step-by-step checklist of one marketing strategy in my playbook of how to get more clients. So I wasn't teaching them my whole business model, all of my marketing strategies. I just dialed in on one marketing strategy, taught them how to do that in 13 pages, and I sold it for $59. And I was able to sell over $500,000 in revenue with that ebook. And when I pivoted to what I teach you guys now about digital products, I was able to sell the IP of that digital product to another photography educator as well. Okay, now how much money could you make with an ebook? Well, it really depends, like how big is your audience, who are you selling to, all of those things. But let's just say that you are going to sell a $29 ebook and you sell 100 copies. That would be $2,900 from a short ebook teaching somebody how to do one specific thing and get one specific result. Now, like the workshop, you could pre-sell this ebook, tell them it's going to be available on a certain date. And then once you actually sell the copies, you'll have time between when you sell it and when you said it would be delivered to actually create the ebook. Or you could go ahead and create it ahead of time and just hope that it sells. Obviously, I'm a big fan of pre-selling because I only want to create something if I know people are going to buy it, if I know I'm going to get paid for it, all of that good stuff, but just wanted to give you guys options. Okay, so how do you actually create an ebook? Well, the easiest way is just to open a Word document, bullet point everything that you want to teach in it. So what's the one result, the one topic you're going to be teaching? And again, this shouldn't be your whole playbook. It should be one piece that'll get them one result. And then bullet point, where are they now? Where do you want them to be at the end of the ebook? And then make sure to fill that all in to create your actual ebook. Now, remember, shorter is better. People will not pay more for a longer ebook. In fact, I would argue and say that they would pay more for a shorter ebook so that they could get the result in a faster amount of time with less work, right? So once you've written it in a Word document, you can take it into Canva, and they have PDF templates in there. You can adjust the colors, the photos, the fonts, and then you can simply download it as a PDF, host it in Google Drive, get the share link. And then when people fill out the checkout page to buy it, you can actually set up an automation to have it emailed to them with the link so that they can access it once they've paid. And how I do all of this is using a software called System.io. And I actually have a link in the description below this video where you can get a fully free account. It's not a free trial. It's a free account for up to 2,000 email subscribers. Okay, the third digital product that completely changed my life is courses. Now, again, if I was to start over completely from scratch with a digital products business, I would personally start with a workshop. But the reason I like courses is because you can teach a bit broader, a bit of a bigger topic, and you can also typically charge more. So instead of teaching like one smaller thing in 13 pages of an ebook or one smaller thing through a workshop, like for example, let's say you wanted to do a workshop to teach people how to do Instagram Reels, right? But you could create a course on how to do like everything on Instagram, right? So that's kind of where courses come into play, is you can teach more of a bigger topic and also typically charge a lot more for it. But the downside is it is a beast to create. I mean, you're creating tons of videos, modules, lessons, worksheets, like assets to go with the actual course videos. You want to purchase a software to actually host your course in, which System.io will do that, by the way. But with, an ebook or a workshop, you can just host that on Google Drive. But I will say when I was just starting out, courses really helped me make a lot of money because I was able to charge a lot more for them. I personally was able to charge around $297 all the way up to $1,997 per course that I sold. And again, you can totally pre-sell a course just like I taught you to do with the workshop or the ebook. It's going to be a little bit different. So you're going to create the checkout page. You're going to say what the name of the course is, what's included, what's the result they're going to get, all of that great stuff, right? And then what you want to do, I recommend, is record the first module ahead of time so that when they buy, they get access to the first module, okay? Then you can tell them every single month that they're going to get a new module until the whole course is completed. So let's say you created a course with 4 modules. They buy, they get module 1, then next month module 2, then the next month module 3, then the next month module 4, right? And so then you have a whole month between each module to create the module of that course. And then by the end of the course, you'll have the whole thing created. So again, the great thing is you're able to sell it up front and you're able to create it as the course goes along and you're able to get paid to create it. But also with the course, you're able to get student feedback as you're delivering the course. So with each module, people might have questions and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think to include that. I'll make sure to include that in the next module. So not only do you get paid up front, but it actually helps you to create a better course to begin with. Now, the potential of money you can make with courses is very large, but it can be harder to sell something more expensive, which is why I personally would start with a workshop. But once you've made sales with your first digital product, then I would recommend going to something like a course or a membership, which I'll talk about next. Now with courses, I have literally made 6 figures in revenue during a 1-week launch from a course. So there's a lot of money to be made from courses, but you do kind of want to have a little bit of experience and know what you're doing because of how long it takes to create it and because it is a bit harder to sell something more expensive than say a workshop or an ebook. And by the way, I recently recorded a brand new on-demand workshop that's going to take you through every single step of coming up with your digital product idea, learning how to grow your audience, how to make your first sales, and how to automate your sales for passive income. And I want to invite you to snag your free seat to this free on-demand training. It is the first link in the description below this video. Okay, the next digital product that changed my life, and this is the digital product that I am most focused on right now in my career, is memberships. Now, I like to say that a membership is basically a course, but with better pricing. So basically, you're still going to have a program like a course, right? Where you're going to have modules, videos, lessons, worksheets, all that great stuff. You're also going to have a community. So I personally host my membership in a platform called Skool, Skool. I think I have a discount link in the description below this video. If not, comment and we can send it to you. But the cool thing with Skool is I'm able to host the entire program of the membership in there. I'm able to have the community forum in there as well. I'm also able to have our call calendar where we do weekly Q&A calls with the students live every single week. And of course, we share the recording. And we even have a leaderboard where the more you participate, the more prizes you unlock as you're in the membership. Now, the reason I say memberships have a better pricing model than courses and why I like them better is because they have something called recurring revenue. So typically memberships will offer a monthly, quarterly, or yearly price. So unlike courses, with courses, you typically just pay one time or you do a payment plan. But once it's paid, the course is yours, right? With memberships, you pay ongoing. So however long you want access to everything, the community, the program, the Q&A calls, all that stuff, you are going to stay in the program and you can cancel whenever you want. But once you cancel, you won't have access to those things anymore. And so I really like it personally because I get to start every single month in my business knowing that we have X amount of sales. With courses, you don't have recurring revenue. So you're essentially starting every single month at 0. And I found that to be a very stressful business model personally. And that's why I like memberships, because I know that we have like 300 and something monthly members, 300 and something yearly members, and their payments are going to come in that month. And so I know that we have that MRR, that monthly recurring revenue every single month, which really helps with the stability of running a business, paying a team, being able to predict your numbers, right? And not having to start every single month of sales at 0, which can be really stressful. I also really like it from an implementation standpoint because the students know they're paying for it, right? And so I personally find that it really lights a fire under them to actually take action, because with the course, they can buy it, maybe they don't come back to it. They already bought it, whatever. With a membership, it's like, you're going to keep getting charged, so you better use this, right? And I really personally like that aspect of it because I not only want people to buy my program, I want them to actually do it and get results. Now, just like the other digital products, you can totally pre-sell a membership as well. So you could have the community ready to go. You could maybe have one module, just like a course, pre-sell it, and then tell them, I'm going to be creating every module every month until it's completed. So just like a course, right? But the pricing model is what's different. So instead of a one-time price, they're going to pay monthly, quarterly, or yearly. Now, how much money could you make from a membership? Well, very similar, I would say, to courses, except for it'll be less money up front and more money like ongoing, right? Because with a course, you could charge like $1,000, $2,000. With a membership, at least my membership right now, it is $59 a month or $348 a year, which, by the way, it is going up big time at the beginning of next year. So if you're listening to this and the price is still the low price of $59 a month or $348 a year, you got to get in. I'm just warning you, it's going up a lot. We have so many testimonials. We've added so many things to the program. We are getting our students such amazing results. We know that it is worth so much more. Our competitors are literally charging like 10 to 20 times more than us. So just fair warning, we are raising our prices and the price is so great right now. And that's a great example of pricing, like $59 a month, $348 a year. So it's not as much money up front, but again, you're getting that more stable recurring income that stacks up over time. And this is how you build predictable, freedom-focused income. So personally, again, if I was starting over, I would start with a workshop. Once I started getting sales with that and I was ready for a second digital product, I would 100% go with a membership. Okay, now that you know the digital products that changed my life, how to pre-sell them, let's talk quickly about how to automate your sales. So once you've created the checkout page and you've made sales, I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away by how easy this is. But to automate your sales, what you really need is a stable stream of leads or traffic, whatever you want to call it, to your checkout page. So if you're selling a workshop and you know that for every 100 people that hit your checkout page, one person buys or 10 people buy or whatever your conversion rate is, then how do you get more sales? Traffic, sending traffic, right? Well, how do you automate those sales? Well, you could batch your content, automate emails to do selling for you. You could even go to a very pro level like I have and do what's called an automated webinar funnel. And really the best way to explain what an automated webinar funnel is for you to just literally go through it and see what it's like. So you're going to opt in. It's a free training. You watch the training and it will teach you things in the training. And then it will say, hey, if you want to learn more, you can join our membership Freedom Creator Club. So if you want to go through that and see how my automated funnel works, it is the first link in the description below this video, totally free. You can go through it, see how it works. And that is how I'm automating my sales every single day. So again, I was once a burnt out photographer working just about 24/7 because people were texting me. I was doing weddings, portraits, boudoir, all of these different photo shoots, to now today being able to most of the time work just a few hours a day, take vacations when I want to. I just got back from 2 weeks in Europe. It can be done, my friends. I was locked into wedding contracts for 2 whole years. I had to wait to get out of doing weddings. So whatever situation you're in, you can shift where you are in life. You can shift to a more freedom-focused business. And now that you know the digital products that have changed my life, you might be wanting to know which digital products don't sell anymore so that you can avoid those. But how do you do that? Well, it all starts with watching this video next here, because when you pair what you just learned with what's in this video, it's going to be way more powerful. See you in the next video.